What if I told you a simple Washington quarter could be worth not just hundreds, not just thousands but hundreds of thousands of dollars? Yes, some quarters are so rare, they've sold for house-level money. Stay tuned as we reveal the top 3 most expensive Washington quarters ever discovered. There's a rare 1965 Washington quarter out there that has sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and if you know what to look for, you might just find one too. In this video, I'll tell you everything you need to know about this special coin, why it's so valuable, how to check if you have one, and how people have made huge money just by spotting this rare quarter. So keep watching until the end, because this could change your life. Now, let's go back to 1965. Before that year, all U.S. quarters were made of silver, 90% silver, to be exact. But by 1965, silver was getting too expensive. The government decided to stop making coins out of silver and switched to cheaper metals like copper and nickel. So starting in 1965, quarters were no longer silver. They looked similar, but inside they were different. Instead of being worth real silver, they were just face value. But here's where the big mistake happened. Even though the U.S. Mint changed the metal that year, a few silver blanks from 1964 were still left in the machines. And by accident, those silver blanks were used to strike 1965 quarters. These were never supposed to exist. That's what makes them so rare. And today, collectors will pay huge amounts of money to own one of them. So far, only a small number of these silver 1965 quarters have been found. They are worth a lot because they are not supposed to exist. These coins are like secret treasures from the past. Some people have already sold them at big auctions for serious money. One silver 1965 quarter sold for more than $16,000. Another in better condition sold for over $35,000. Experts believe that a perfect one could sell for $50,000 to even over $100,000. Yes, you heard that right, $100,000 for a quarter. So now you're probably wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these special quarters? Good question. There are a few easy things you can do. First, check the weight. A regular 1965 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. But a silver quarter weighs around 6.25 grams. That's a small difference, but a digital scale can tell you for sure. If you weigh your quarter and it's over 6 grams, you might have something special. Next, look at the edge of the coin. Regular 1965 quarters have a copper-colored edge. That's because they are made of copper and nickel. But silver quarters don't have that copper line. If your 1965 quarter has a solid silver-looking edge, with no copper showing, that's another sign it could be one of the rare ones. You can also try the sound test. Silver coins make a high-pitched ring when you drop them on a hard surface, while regular coins sound dull or flat. If your quarter makes a nice clear ring, it could be silver. But don't stop there. If you think you have a rare one, you need to get it checked by a professional grading company, like PCGS or NGC. They will test your coin and tell you if it's real. If it is, then you could be looking at a coin worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. And believe it or not, the silver quarter isn't the only valuable 1965 quarter out there. There are also other rare mistakes from that year. Some 1965 quarters were struck off-center, meaning the image is not in the right place. These can sell for hundreds or even over $1,000, depending on how far off they are. There are also double die errors, where the letters or numbers on the coin look like they are stamped twice. These coins are also rare and valuable, sometimes selling for hundreds or thousands of dollars. Some 1965 quarters were even struck on the wrong type of coin blank, like a dime or a penny. These weird errors are very rare and worth a lot of money too. So what should you do now? The first step is to check your change. Look at every 1965 quarter you have. Don't ignore them. Most people think coins from the 1960s aren't worth anything, but this one might be. You never know where one of these rare coins might show up in your pocket, in a coin jar, or even at the bottom of your couch. Use a small scale to weigh your coins. Look closely at the edges. Listen to the sound. And if anything looks unusual, get it checked. But whatever you do, don't clean the coin. That can lower its value. Just keep it safe and send it in for grading. Now here's the exciting part. Experts believe that many of these rare silver 1965 quarters have not been found yet. That means they could still be out there. They could be sitting in someone's coin collection or hiding in a roll of quarters at the bank. Maybe even in your house. And the only way to find them is to start looking. Think about this. Someone once sold one of these quarters and used the money to buy a car. Another person found one in an old coin album from their grandparents. These stories are real. People just like you have turned pocket change into big money. All because they knew what to look for. So now you do too. You know the signs. You know the value. And you know that the next rare 1965 quarter could be waiting for you. Isn't that exciting? A single quarter, just 25 cents, could be the key to a life-changing moment. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more awesome coin stories. Let's keep the hunt going. Your treasure could be just one coin away. Good luck. What if I told you that a simple 1973 quarter could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even over $100,000? Yes, that small coin sitting in your pocket or coin jar could be a hidden treasure. Most people see a quarter and think it's just 25 cents. But for collectors, some 1973 quarters are pure gold, not in color, but in value. Today, we're going to talk about how a coin from 1973 can turn into a life-changing payday. So stay with me until the end, because you might already own one of these rare coins without even knowing it. Let's start with the basics. In 1973, the United States Mint made a lot of quarters. Millions of them were struck at two main places, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. These coins look just like the ones we use every day. They have George Washington on the front and an eagle on the back. They're made of copper and nickel, just like most modern coins. But even though they look normal, a small number of these coins are very special. And those are the coins that collectors are looking for and willing to pay big money for. You might ask, what makes a 1973 quarter special? The answer is mistakes. Yes, real mistakes made at the mint. These are called mint errors. Some of the most valuable coins in the world are worth so much because something went wrong when they were made. It could be a double strike, a wrong metal, or even a piece that's missing. When these coins make it out into the world, they become rare, and when something is rare, it becomes valuable. One of the most exciting types of 1973 quarter errors is when the coin is struck on the wrong planchet. A planchet is the blank piece of metal used to make a coin. Sometimes, the mint accidentally uses the wrong one. For example, a 1973 quarter was once struck on a penny planchet. That means it was made on a smaller, copper-colored coin instead of the usual quarter-sized blank. That coin sold for more than $6,000 at auction. Imagine turning a coin like that into a few months' worth of rent, or even a car payment. Another amazing type of mistake is when a quarter is struck off-center. This means the image on the coin is not in the right place. Some of the design is missing, or cut off to one side. These errors can be easy to spot, and collectors love them. If the date is still visible and the strike is 50% off-center or more, the value can go way up. Some of these off-center 1973 quarters have sold for more than $1,000. Then there's the double die error. This happens when the design on the coin is doubled during the minting process. You might see the date or the words on the coin look like they have a shadow or two lines instead of one. This kind of error is harder to spot, but it's worth checking your 1973 quarters closely. A double die coin in great shape can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on how strong the doubling is and what condition the coin is in. Some people even talk about 1973 quarters that were accidentally struck on leftover silver blanks from earlier years. That would be very rare. The US stopped using silver in quarters in 1964. But sometimes, a silver blank could be left behind and used by mistake in 1973. If that ever happened, and someone finds that coin today, it could be worth $50,000, $75,000, or even over $100,000. That would be like winning the lottery, just from checking your change. And there's more. Some 1973 quarters were made for special sets called proof sets. These were made by the San Francisco Mint for collectors. They were not meant for everyday use, but sometimes, by mistake or by accident, these shiny proof coins get released into circulation. If you find a 1973 proof quarter that somehow ended up in your change, it could be worth a good amount of money. Even more if it's in perfect shape with no scratches or wear. Speaking of condition, this is another big thing that affects a coin's value. Most coins get beat up over time. They get scratched, worn down, or dirty from being used every day. But once in a while, you'll find a coin that still looks brand new like it just came out of the mint. These are called high-grade coins. If you find a 1973 quarter in mint condition, especially one graded MS67 or higher by a grading company like PCGS or NGC, it can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Clean, sharp details and no damage make these coins very desirable to collectors. So what should you do now? First, check your coins. Look at every 1973 quarter you can find. It's best to check old jars, boxes of coins, or rolls from the bank. These are great places to find coins that haven't been seen or sorted in years. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. Look closely at the date. Check for errors. Try to spot off-center strikes, doubling on the words, or anything that just looks different. Weigh the coin if you can. A regular quarter from 1973 should weigh about 5.67 grams. If it weighs more or less, it could mean it was struck on the wrong planchet. If you find something odd, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value. Just store it safely and consider getting it looked at by a coin dealer or sent to a grading company. That's how you get it verified and valued. And here's the best part: most of these rare 1973 quarters are still out there. Yes, many people don't check their coins. That means the next big discovery could be yours. Maybe it's in your house, in a drawer, or in your car's cup holder. Every time you check your change, you have a chance to find something amazing. Something worth way more than 25 cents. Something that could make your day or even change your life. So keep looking. Keep searching. And don't throw away those 1973 quarters. Because that next rare coin might be waiting for you. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting coin stories. Now go check you. What if I told you that a regular 1983 quarter could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars? Yes, it sounds crazy, but it's true. Some 1983 P. Washington quarters are so rare and so valuable that collectors are paying big money for them. You could have one sitting in your pocket right now. Most people see a quarter and think it's just 25 cents. But there are a few from 1983 that are worth a small fortune. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. You'll learn how to spot a rare one, how much it's worth, and why 1983 quarters are so special. Make sure you watch all the way to the end, because this is one coin you do not want to overlook. Back in 1983, the US Mint made millions of quarters. The quarter had George Washington on the front and the eagle on the back. They were made with copper and nickel, just like most quarters today. The Philadelphia Mint made over 673 million quarters that year. That's a lot of coins. So how could any of them be rare? The answer is simple. In 1983, the US Mint did not make collector mint sets. That means there were no special coins saved in perfect condition. All the quarters made that year were sent straight into circulation. They went into pockets, cash registers, and piggy banks. Most were used and worn down. Because of that, it's really hard to find a 1983 quarter that still looks new. And if you do find one, it could be worth a lot of money. But it gets even better. One of the most famous and rare 1983 quarters is called the Spitting Eagle. It's a special error coin. On the back of the quarter, the eagle looks like it's spitting from its beak. There's a little raised line that sticks out from the eagle's mouth. This happened because of a small crack on the die used to make the coin. It's not something that was added later. It's part of the way the coin was made. It's a real mint error, and collectors love it. Some of these Spitting Eagle quarters have sold for over $1,000. One of the best examples, in perfect condition, sold for more than $15,000. That's right. A $15,000 quarter. All because of one small line on the back of the coin. Now you're probably wondering how you can tell if you have one. First, look at the front of the coin. Under the date, you'll see a small letter. If it has a P, that means it was made in Philadelphia. The Spitting Eagle only comes from the Philadelphia Mint, so you want to look for the letter P. Then flip the coin over and look at the eagle. Look closely at the beak. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. If you see a small line coming out of the mouth, that could be the famous error. Make sure to compare it to pictures online so you know what it looks like. If it matches, you could have a valuable coin, but that's not the only thing to watch for. Because there were no collector sets made in 1983, any quarter from that year in great condition is rare. Most of the coins were used and damaged over time. If you find one that still looks shiny, with no scratches or marks, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands. Especially if the coin is graded by a company like PCGS or NGC and gets a high grade like MS66 or MS67. The better the condition, the more it's worth. There are other types of errors from 1983 too. Some coins were struck off-center. That means the design isn't in the right place, and part of it might be cut off. These off-center coins can be worth hundreds of dollars. Other coins have double strikes, where the design was stamped more than once. You might see two dates or two sets of letters. These double-struck coins are also rare and very valuable. Some 1983 quarters were even struck on the wrong type of metal. These are called wrong planchet errors. If a quarter was struck on a penny blank, it would be smaller and weigh less. If you find a quarter that looks different or weighs less than 5.67 grams, it might be a wrong planchet error. These kinds of coins can sell for thousands. So what should you do if you think you have a rare 1983 quarter? First, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value. Even if it looks dirty or old, leave it the way it is. Put it in a safe place. Then take it to a coin shop or send it to a grading company. They will look at the coin and tell you what it's worth. You can also look online to compare your coin to ones that have already sold. Look at auction websites to see what people are paying. Sometimes, a small detail can make a big difference in value. Now here's the most exciting part. These coins are still out there. Most people don't check their change. They don't look at the date, and they don't know what to watch for. That means your chance is still good. You could find a rare 1983 quarter in a coin jar, at the bank, or even in your wallet. Some people search through rolls of quarters from the bank and find rare ones hidden inside. It just takes patience and a little knowledge. And now that you know what to look for, you're already ahead of the game. The 1983 P. Washington quarter is a perfect example of how a simple mistake or a small detail can turn pocket change into big money. Maybe you'll find a Spitting Eagle. Maybe you'll find a perfect condition quarter that has never been touched. Or maybe you'll find an error that no one has seen before. The hunt is half the fun. The reward could be life-changing. So start looking. Check your quarters. Show your friends and family. Ask if they have old coins sitting around. You never know what you might find. One coin could change everything. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Share it with someone who loves coins or wants to start collecting. And remember, always check your change. You never know.